Is that all? Like, are you the only members right now? Are there other members who have joined on and are going to be a part of the team? Like, because obviously you said you've kind of gone through, you two have remained the core, and then obviously remain friends with everyone else, which is great. But I'd imagine with COVID, things may have gotten stirred up again. Did that happen?
A little bit. I mean, go ahead, buddy.
I was just saying, yeah, basically, exactly like you said. Chris and I are still the core at this point. We're still kind of trying to solidify things a little bit better. We've been using some of our past guys for it. We've got shows that have come up, and we'll just use our past musician friends that had played in the band prior just to come in. And some of them have to learn new material, but it's only a song or two. And they already know all the old material. So that's just kind of the way that we didn't want to lose too much momentum, kind of as we're coming out of COVID. So again, that's why we kind of tracked the songs where we had material, and then we could start releasing it and then sort of suss out the band a little bit, I guess, as we move forward, so to speak.
Absolutely. That's smart. I mean, that makes a ton of sense. Obviously that momentum having already been halted once, you don't want that to happen again by hitting a roadblock with live performance options and stuff.
100%. Yeah. That was really not a fun time period, to be honest. So that's why Chris and I were like, we're just going to keep this train a rolling no matter what. So
I don't blame you at all. I think that's fantastic. And
go on. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think in the past we had done some of that, waited until we had a full solidified lineup. Okay, now we can start doing stuff. And the problem with that is just there ends up being a gap of, of time where it looks like nothing's going on. We might be working, but maybe public perception or whatever is that are those guys still together? So we thought that no matter what, Heath and I were committed to doing this no matter what. We really, it's our passion project, and, we enjoy it. And so, I mean, that's kind of, we just made a pact that okay, doesn't matter what's going on, we're still going to keep forging ahead and keep, keep putting out music, and the other stuff will take care of itself as time goes. But we're not going to let anybody kind of dictate, any, the stopping any momentum that we're, working on.
Absolutely. And that makes so much sense. And obviously it's pretty convenient. Sounds like, since you guys have been in the industry, you've got friends who can step in and fill that void pretty quickly, pretty easily. They're talented enough to say, I'm not full time in the band, but I can definitely step in and do some shows and sorry. With obviously things getting closer to normal again, what's the outlook for live performances and kind of the plans going forward with the, because I'd imagine that's a big part of what you guys do. Is it sounds like that was a big part of your release on the album and stuff, is touring and supporting the music and playing shows. So what's kind of the live show outlook?
I mean, we don't have any touring plans at the moment. I mean, right now we just, with the singles, we'll be playing shows to support the singles. But to be honest, it's still so kind of iffy as to when that's all going to be, a better situation, that we're just kind of, it's still a bit of a wait and see kind of thing for us, I think. Looks like we lost Heath for a second.
He'll probably pop back on. He'll probably pop back in real quick. But, there he is.
But I can't wait to be able to tour again. I mean, I totally miss it. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great experience to be able to tour. But I'm glad that you said that you liked Everybody Knows, because I think the next 2 or 3 singles that come out are going to be kind of a little bit more in that vein, stylistically. Awesome. This next song, Curves, is really kind of, in that vein for sure. And but I mean, we do have, we have a show in February. We have one on the books in April. We have one in June. But to be honest, I really don't know how soon, a touring situation will present itself. I mean, I'm hoping that at some point, we'll be able to jump on a tour that somebody else is doing maybe, or something like that. But we don't have a tour planned as of right now. It's really just kind of the work through the single cycles and, keep building our numbers and keep growing our fan base, and, hopefully get folks like you to pay attention to us so that we can promote our brand and our music. But that's really, it's really just kind of a wait and see thing, I think, right now.
That's the hard part, right? Is when you're unsure about the future, I think you guys are doing a good job at kind of taking what's given to you and running with it and working all the kinks out along the way, which I like what you were talking about earlier, Chris, because that I feel like that's a mistake that a lot of people will make, which is that gap, allowing that, well, when it falls into place, then, right. And it manages to just kind of get pushed off and off and off, right? It's like, when we get more members, we'll record music, or, when we have more songs, then we'll go to the studio or whatever it is. And eventually it just kind of tapers out and fizzles out. And so I think it's awesome that you guys are really taking what you have and running with it. And obviously the release schedule, it sounds like you guys have a nice pipeline too, which, from my time, I did sales for quite a while. And one of the things that we always had to have was a pipeline, right? It's like your potential clients, your ones in process, and then your sales and your follow-up, right? And it sounds like that's where you guys are at with your music, is, having something that's already ready to go, something that's being mixed, something that's pre-production. And it sounds like you guys have really planned out quite a bit of time, like kind of a long time frame. Was that something you guys sat down and consciously planned out, or was that just something that kind of came about?
Well, I think so first of all, I don't know how much choice we really had in the matter. It's like, either do something or don't do anything, right? So we thought that's
what I'm saying. A lot of people just don't do anything. That was
when everything was locked down, right? That was like the perfect opportunity to do some writing. And so that's, when we just generated a bunch of ideas, we didn't necessarily maybe finish all the songs, but we just like tried to generate a bunch of ideas, and then we kind of narrowed them down and then began to hone in on each song. But yeah, I think part of, especially, these days, you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to deal, the better you are, the more adept you are with dealing with change, the more successes you'll have, because, you never know what's going to happen. You really don't. And so you need to be prepared to be able to change your plan when things aren't going, as you wanted them to. To be honest with you, one of the songs that we're going to release this summer has been ready for a while, and we wanted to release it towards the end of last summer, but we couldn't get all the assets in place. We didn't have the marketing plan together in time. The timing didn't work out, and so we had made kind of what we kind of think was not necessarily a misstep, but just it was unfortunate that when we released Everybody Knows, we released it. It's like, pool party video. It's, has kind of a summery vibe to it. And we released it kind of in the fall. And, we ideally wanted to release that song in the summertime. But because it took a while for us to get everything in place, we weren't able to do it. So we released that song in the fall, and it didn't quite have the reaction that we were kind of hoping for. And I think that, so it's the seasonality aspect of when you release songs kind of factors into, your releases. And so with this song, Dance With Me, we didn't want to make the same mistake twice. So we said, okay, it's not ready for summer. Let's go ahead and shelf it. We'll work on other songs, and we'll release Feeling It instead, which kind of, worked better. So now we're going to release, Dance With Me when the timing is, we feel like the timing will be better. So you just kind of have to, and that's a perfect example of being able to adapt and change your plan as needed,
Yeah.
But Chad, kind of to your point, that there was definitely certainly some method to the madness. We definitely did sort of try to set an architecture for it being a quarterly release, to where, okay, let's focus on one song per quarter. All right, Feeling It, this is our fourth quarter song. Curves, this is our second quarter or our first quarter song. And then Dance, probably be our second quarter song. We're still not 100% on that, but it's either going to be second or third quarter. And then with Let Me Be being whichever other one it would be.
For sure.
So there's definitely some methodology to that.